Tana Castellon, and this is my audience. Due to coronavirus, it's limited. Hi, my name is Tana Castellon, and I am doing this a persuasive speech for my Speech 11150 class with Miss Melissa Weaver. So I am going to be touching the topic of why recycling is important. My title is Should We Recycle More? Okay. Imagine if we never recycled a day in our lives, the massive buildup and contamination our earth would be experiencing right now. We'd probably have a lot of trash just lingering around, and we would be experiencing a lot of global warming. When I actually started recycling, I felt it to be rather pleasing. I felt like I was contributing to saving our earth and just practicing to be eco-friendly, and I knew that it had many benefits, as well as helping us conserve our fossil fuels, which are a non-renewable resource. Not only does this help us conserve our natural resources, but it actually has an impact in our society as well as our economical position. It's important that we act now, because if not, we will be experiencing a lot of side effects due to global warming. We've seen a lot of weather changes, climate changes. We've seen just irrational natural events that we have no control over. Landfills are piling up with trash because a lot of these items that we throw out are not easily decomposed. They're not biodegradable. That means that they linger around our earth for many years. Sometimes when you throw out metal items or plastic, then they don't have the same possibility of decomposing as a paper or I guess cardboard would. Not that they're easily decomposable, but they do take a lot longer than other items. So putting a stop to this would help our landfills be less crowded and would actually have us require the less use of landfill, and we would be able to do more things with our land rather than just filling it up with random trash and other items that sit there for centuries, decades, and much more time than it should linger around. In average, Americans throw away about 185 pounds of plastic a year. So this is about 10% of our total trash that the world generates. So all of this trash is going into landfills and it's lingering there, staying there, and then it is the reason why our water and our air and all of these things that we need to survive our earth are being polluted. So recycling is the best option to help conserve our earth, and also to conserve our fossil fuels. That way we ensure that we have them for many generations to come. If we all contribute to recycling, then we can all help make our communities a better. So if we all recycled, we'd all see a decrease not only in pollution, but we'd also see a decrease in carbon emissions. We'd also see our landfills be used less often, rather than how often they're used now. And that means that we would be having less space to burn our waste, which is what a lot of these landfills send off our waste to do. They burn it, and that causes toxins that are very hazardous for humans. And that's actually one of the biggest problems, is the fumes that these plants release onto our earth are the main cause of our pollution. So these landfills or these waste emission plants are releasing toxins such as dioxin, mercury, and lead. And this is released onto our communities that we live in and obviously pollute the air. This is the biggest reason why we should take recycling more seriously, because we're actually breathing out pretty hazardous air that with time may even affect our health. Let's say we all contributed to recycling just one plastic bottle can make about 54 million t-shirts, and it can also make about 6.4 million fleece jackets. So when you think about my one bottle won't make a difference, it actually will make a huge difference if you do decide to recycle it. That information was actually taken from USA Today by the author of Ashley May. And you can definitely check out that article and read more about it. And according to the Institute of Local Self-Reliance, there's an article on there called Waste Incineration, a Dirty Secret in How States Define Renewable Energy. You can see statistics of how much our use of waste incinerators and landfills has greatly decreased. It's actually decreased about 12 million in difference. At first we were using about 30 million tons, sending about 30 million tons off of to landfills. You can see a chart of the differences that have caused by the use of our recycling methods. We went from about 136 million tons of waste to roughly about 30 tons, and about 60 million of those are being recycled, which is a great amount of our waste being used for a better. So if we all contributed to this, we can definitely all recycle, and we can help put a stop to global warming. Why should you recycle? That a lot of people have when dealing with situations like this, because they feel like their specific contributions would not make a difference. But let me tell you, it sure. Recycling is actually not a new modern thing that millennials have came up with. According to history.com, there's a article on there by Sheila Eldred where she speaks about how recycling started in Paris, France. Obviously, it's something that has been done for many years, but practice that caused a lot of attention was by a guy that was referred to as the ragman, and he would go rag picking, knock on doors, and offer to buy people's rags that would later be turned into paper. So that was one of the biggest impacts that recycling has had on our world. And it was one of the biggest changes of introducing recycling. Recycling has many benefits. One of the benefits is that it can help our economy because it is known to generate jobs. These recycling facilities and other places that are related to recycling actually have the power of making new positions available for people, which is actually improving our economy rather than decreasing it or affecting. Let's say we had less landfills in our earth, then that would mean that we would have less pollution and more space for things that are contributing to bettering our society, such as more natural resources, such as like our fossil fuels and other things. So we would have land and trees and other nature-filled areas that we would not be interrupting to convert into these landfills are actually pretty serious, and it's actually taking over a lot of our land. What these people do once these landfills are overcrowded with waste, they basically cover it with material as if they were to put a blanket over it and just ignore that there's actually trash on there, and they move on to the next space of land that they can put trash on. So we've preserved most of our natural resources, and we've also helped clean up our earth because we've taken recycling more seriously. Although not everybody takes our recycling action plans as seriously, a lot of people that do help out with these are helping us conserve our non-renewable resources, and as well as helping mold future generations that are around them. So yeah, recycling does have many benefits, and I didn't state all of them, although I could have gone more into detail in this speech. So next time that you're looking to put out your trash in the curb, maybe you should take a glance at your trash, check out what plastic, cardboard, or glass you can maybe take to your local recycling facility.